There are a few certainties in life. Number one, you will die. Number two, you have to pay taxes. And number three, stick shift trucks are just cooler than automatics. But you know what's not cool? If you've got a stick shift truck and it just won't shift. It's fun rowing your own gears, but it's certainly not fun when you can't find them. So if you have an 88 to 98 OBS Chevy like this with the NV3500, and your shifter is worn out and you want something that looks cooler, that shifts better, I'm gonna give you a full installation and honest review on Core Shifter's short throw shifter for the NV3500. Let's check it out. So one of the things that is not great about this specific transmission, and again, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's an NV3500 so much as it is that this truck just has, 178,000 miles on it, is just the amount of slop, right? So that's neutral right there. I mean, literally, if you use the dash for a reference, it's going from like here all the way over to there. That's a ton of slop. And notice that it doesn't really like to recenter. One of the things you'll see with the new shifter is that there's a very strong centering spring. So basically when you're in the neutral gate and you push over towards fifth and reverse, it's gonna pop it back over to neutral. When you go back to first and second, it's gonna pop it over. This one is just, okay, that's neutral, right? And it just kind of like lays that way because that's the way gravity's pulling it, but it's totally shot. Now let me show you about the play in gear. Okay, so we're gonna put it in first gear. So that's in gear, right? Still quite a bit of slop. Second gear, okay. Now third, oh my God, it's all over. It's almost like neutral, right? Like on any other vehicle, that would be neutral, and that's in gear. Now, what this means is it makes it very difficult to find gears in this thing, because let's say you're in second gear. Normally what you would do is you would just apply force forward. It would pop into that centered neutral spot and you could just go straight into third. But a lot of times what happens with this is you go up accidentally into fifth, or it feels like you're trying to go back into first, which is bad. You really can't find the 3 and 4 gate with how beat up this thing is. So the real reason that I'm getting this shifter is not because I'm trying to race this thing. I want to be able to, it's kind of for safety, right? I want to be able to shift. If I need to shift quickly, or if I need to I'm coasting and quickly I need to throw it into gear, third and fourth are kind of useless because of how much slop is in there. Got this kind of trim ring. There's going to be 4 bolts or screws that hold that on. 3 more that hold on this boot, which will be reused. Don't worry about having to unscrew this. This will all come off as one piece. Now, most videos I've seen, it's not with the 4-wheel drive, so we'll have to see if we can snake everything out of the way, or if I need to remove this plastic piece. Once you get all that removed, so 4 and 4, 8 bolts, there's going to be another 4 that hold the actual shifter itself down to the transmission. You'll undo those and this whole thing will pop off, and then we'll clean the surface and mount everything back up. Let me show you what I mean here. See that? You got a Phillips on all 4 corners, and this is actually in really good shape. So we're gonna be careful with this. All 4 of those will come off. We may have to undo this for the 4-wheel drive since this is a manual linkage, but I'm not really sure. Let's go ahead and get started. If you've never looked into the top of like a top loader transmission, this is kind of what they all look like. So there's a shaft that rides forward and back. And then you've got this piece right here, which basically, in some shifters like a T56, you'll have a little cup that goes in there. I think the new shifter that I bought, it has a piece that already comes installed on the little ball end of the shifter that goes down in there. But if you ever took one off and your new shifter came with one and your old one's still in there, you got to pull that out. Otherwise, you'll have an issue. We'll go around and remove all this gasket from the edges. We'll apply new. It did look like there was some leaking happening here on the top side. I mean, this also could be road grime and stuff, but the old boot was pretty messed up. So, you want a good seal between your shifter and here, and then obviously the boots that go on need to make a good seal as well. So a few parts of the instructions weren't totally clear. When they talk about the wide side, they mean the wide side of the flange should be to the passenger side. If you flip it over it is the same. The side with more meat on it goes towards the passenger. So if you're confused, that side that's closer, driver, passenger. The other big thing is when you drop it into place, you want to make sure there's no gap between the top flange of the transmission and the shifter. If there is, you've got a problem. I highly recommend test fitting this first before you go and slather it up with RTV. Remember, it's in neutral, so if you look over top, you may have to wiggle it a little bit just to get your bolt holes to line up. We'll pop this off, make sure both mating surfaces are clean. I hit these with a razor blade to get the RTV off from the factory, and then I use some brake clean. These are already clean, but anyways, we'll go ahead, we'll throw some black RTV on there. I had some of this laying around. I've always used this when I've done shifters in the past, something like this. Lay a bead, make sure you get a nice circles around all of the holes. I haven't decided yet. Sometimes I've done this, I put a tiny bit of grease on the cup, but it doesn't really call for it in the instructions, but maybe I'll just put a little tiny bit on there, we'll see. But I'll hit it with some RTV first. You'll have to pardon my dirty workbench. But here you go. There's the two shifters side by side. You can opt for different styles of shift balls. I just went for black with the white lettering. Obviously that's gonna get mounted on here. Nice thing, and always remember, when you tighten shift balls down, you don't wanna crank the ball down, because what happens is if this goes too far in and you don't have some sort of stop, like this is a special jam nut, what'll happen is it'll split the ball over time. So the key is you use this jam nut, which actually has this recessed portion in here, which goes up into the shifter. So you basically screw this down, get it aligned how you want it, and then you tighten this against the ball. And that's the way this is designed. And then it sits against that kind of brass part in there. But yeah, this gives you an idea of the overall length of the shifters. Obviously with that on there, it's about 2 inches shorter. So your hand will be a little bit lower down, but everything went in good. You saw me using the inch-pound torque wrench. They say 8 to 10 foot-pounds. You take your foot-pounds, you times it by 12, and that will give you inch-pounds. So for me, 108 was 9 foot-pounds is 108 inch-pounds. And you really want to use an inch-pound torque wrench, because most of your 3/8 drive torque wrenches are only going to go down to 10 foot-pounds, and you're really at the low end of the scale. I think it's better to use something and be in kind of the middle of the range that they use, and that's why I like using an inch-pound torque wrench on the smaller torque settings like that. So they give you these washers, they give you these bolts with washers on them. I am going to go ahead and use a little bit of blue Loctite just to make sure they stay in place, and then you've got the serrated portion here, which will mate with the shifter. I think they say to tighten these down. I'll have to look at the instructions. It's kind of tight actually, 30 to 35 foot-pounds, or they will loosen in use. So I would recommend using a little bit of blue Loctite and tighten those down to about 30, 35 foot-pounds, and you should be good to go. Now on mine, this bottom, the threads on the shifter were a little rough, so I wound up spinning the bolt around, running it through the other way. That cleaned off the threads. I'm gonna go with a real small ratchet just to get them snug evenly, and then I'll come back with the torque wrench. Because remember, those serrations are gonna bite in. There we go. Click, click. Make sure the other side clicks. Okay, always like to just go back and forth. Yep, we're good. Okay, obviously the installation is not complete, nor is anything tight, but a lot stiffer too. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Probably reverse. Fourth, third. Man, she's tight. that's for sure. Okay, so you know what? First, let's just wrap up my discussion on the install. So here's one thing that I don't like, and feel free to correct me if this is the incorrect shift boot for this vehicle. But because this shifter used to come straight, okay, the way core shifters used to make this, from what I've seen, is the shaft would come straight up out of the shifter housing, and then you would have a bent lever, right? So the lever had the bend in it, and these bolts here were down here. And what that did was, that made it, see how this doesn't line up down here? I can stretch this to catch this little insert, but when I do that, it won't stay. So either you're gonna need to fabricate a different style boot, and this is actually a pretty good boot. It just doesn't come all the way up. It's like this needs to be longer, or they need to rethink how they sell this product when they change the shifter to where now the shifter comes up, makes the bend, and then you have a straight lever. I think that moves things upwards, and this just doesn't fit right. You could move this down underneath the bolts, but then the bolts will be showing, which kind of negates the purpose of the boot. So all in all, instructions were fine. This thing installed pretty easily, but I don't like this because this should be sitting up here. Makes it look a lot better. Now, when you're sitting up here, you don't notice it, right? It looks like everything's fine, but as soon as you go down here, you're like, what the heck is going on? Why isn't this fitting? And it's because this boot either needs to be longer or the design of this needs to be different, and just doesn't work great. So that's one negative for this whole new redesigned core shifter. Let's talk about shifter placement. Okay, so you may not be able to tell right now, but the stock shifter was longer and it had less of a kickback, so it was kind of more up here, which there's no center console or there's no armrest. If there was an armrest in this truck, this would be kind of nice because you could just rest your arm on the armrest and just kind of shift, right? And the stock one, it sits up so high, but you can kind of rest it and do stuff with the dials. It takes a little more getting used to down low, but the throws are shorter, right? So the one thing that I don't love about the throws is the ergonomics of this kickback in your 2 to 3 shift. So normally what I would kind of like to see is like if 2 to 3 instead of neutral to third was right here. See how I can just rest my hand and just push it in? Now when I put it into second, hold on, let's try and see how it goes back in a second. Now, when I try to do that, my hand, right, it's like I gotta like bend my wrist down or like grab the ball to like do it. And maybe a T-handle would be better. Maybe in the future I'll put a T-handle on it and that'll just fix this. And if I have a T-handle lying around, I may even try it. I really like the look of this, but it kind of makes it hard to shift 2 to 3. I know that sounds nitpicky, but trust me, if you're in the truck, when it goes down into second, it's kicked back so far. It's like this thing needs to be up higher, and then I could just boom right into third gear. It's still easier to find third than the original shifter, of course, because that thing was all played out. But that is one thing that I don't absolutely love about it. In terms of like the appearance, the aesthetics, it looks great. The throws are certainly shorter. You've got the noticeable centering spring that returns it that the stock one didn't have. Some people complain about whine in 5th gear. I don't hear any of that, so I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but I don't have any problems with that. So let's go mount the GoPro. I'll try it a couple different locations, and then we'll run you through the gears and let you listen to it, and you can kind of make your own decision. Go ahead and start it up and see how she does. Issue I had before was not being able to find third gear, and we're in second right now. Third gear all day long. It's easy to find, but one thing I will say, although it is easy to find third gear, I don't know if you noticed that, I kind of have to put some effort in to get it out of second into third. I know that my clutch seems to engage and disengage fine. I haven't gone through and done anything specific to that. I don't think it's related to the clutch, but it just seems to me like a little more effort is required to go from in between gears, but maybe it's just new. First to second's not too bad. I'll just shut up and shift for a little bit here. noise out of the transmission. And you're going to have that anytime generally you install a short throw, because a short throw, it's going to tighten everything up, but generally tightness, you know, stiffer materials, less foam, less insulation, that's going to lead to more noise. So if you want a totally quiet, you know, driver's compartment, maybe you just go with a rebuilt stock shifter. It's not noticeably loud, but you can hear a little bit more gear whine. But so overall, it's a better experience. If you've got a stock worn out shifter, this is going to be a better experience than that. Trust me. Trying to find gears and not being able to find them, not fun at all. This is certainly better, but it takes some getting used to and maybe some modification, and maybe it just needs to loosen up a little bit. So we'll take it up here on the freeway just so I can point out that you're not going to hear that whine in fifth gear that I know some people have talked about, and then we'll wrap it up. So that's fifth gear. We're about 60, 65 right now. It is kind of a bumpy road. They're doing construction, but there's no whine. We'll go ahead and try and downshift. Like I said, it's a truck transmission, right? So you're not going to be able to rev match downshift as smoothly as you would in, say, a Corvette or something like that. But it's not bad, you know. Obviously, fifth to fourth is easy. Fourth to third. Go down here. You can hear a little bit more noise on diesel. I'll give it that. Quicker shift in here so you can see how it responds. Yeah, you're not shipping that 2-3 fast. I think I got a little baby chirp out of those 32 VF Goodriches. Okay, so final thoughts on this. It's a tough one because on one hand, aesthetically, it looks a heck of a lot better, and it was super frustrating with the stock shifter, trying to shift it, not being able to find third gear, not being able to find fourth gear. The thing with this shifter that I think would take it from like good, right? You know, like a 7 out of 10 to like a 9 out of 10 is them rethinking this shift lever, because in my opinion, it's got too much kickback and not enough length. Now, by shortening the length of the shifter, you know, you're shortening the throw of the shifter too, right? So they advertise this is a shorter throw, and part of that is probably due to how the actual new shifter is constructed in the base and all that, the geometry of it. Obviously, part of that is the length of the stick itself. So I think with a longer stick and less kickback, you would get a little bit more mechanical advantage. You'd still have that kind of like rifle action short throw feel, but it would just make it shifting a little bit easier. Now, I will say all of this is with only having a couple hundred miles on it. So maybe after I get 1,000, 2,000, couple thousand miles on it, it'll loosen up and it'll be no big deal. So maybe I just need to give it a little bit of time. So I'll just wrap up by saying this. I think for the money, for what they give you, if you've got an old worn out shifter, it's definitely not a bad decision. If, let's say you could go and you could buy a shifter for $100 that was a stock reproduction shifter, bolted straight in, had all new wear components. You just took your old lever and put it on there for $100 instead of the $420 or whatever this costs. That'd be a tough one. You might want to get with the stock replacement. So I don't know if that exists, but if it does, that's kind of what I'm going to leave you as. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it informative. And check back on the channel for more truck videos. We're probably going to get some more Mach 1 content too. So if that's what brings you here and you're just watching this in the meantime, Christmas is right around the corner. Got some plans. So a few videos on that will be coming up soon. For the rest of you guys who are just new to the channel, thanks for checking it out. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you again next time on Truck and Roll.